Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mark Loeffler Experience. We have a great show for you today. We have Aaron Missere from Departure Capital with us today. We're going to talk stocks. We're going to talk real estate. We're going to talk creating a YouTube channel. Guys, this is going to be action-packed. So if you guys don't want to miss these things, you got to smash that like button. You got to hit the subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Do this for the YouTube algorithm, guys. If you like Aaron, leave a comment down below. Thanks, everybody. Let's get started. So Aaron, welcome to the channel.
Thanks so much for having me. Excited.
Yeah. So, so how long have you been YouTubing?
So it'll be 2 years now in July, so 2018.
2018.
In July 2018 was when I made my first video, yeah.
Awesome. And you do it every day. Like you're 4 o'clock, after market close,
Yeah, so that was what started my show. I wanted to just start a YouTube channel talking about investing. Jim Cramer really inspired me because I watched his show all the time. But I wanted a dedicated, specialized show Monday to Friday where I recap the close, and that was called my Market Minute, you could say. Now it's obviously doing pretty good, and that's the foundation of my channel. It's obviously grown to more than that, but that's where I really got started.
Cool. So, talk to me. Obviously I have a brand new YouTube channel and I want to learn from you, and I don't know if anybody else is interested in doing anything like this out there yet. So July 2018, were the monetization rules or like the push rules as hard back then, or?
So they just got to the point where you need 1,000 subscribers, and I believe it was 240,000 minutes of watch time in order to get monetized. And I don't know if they've changed since then. Have they changed?
No, the same ones.
Okay, yeah. So your first 1,000 subscribers obviously is going to be your hardest. You're already at almost 400, which is great because your first couple hundred is your hardest. And then it's just a matter of being consistent, putting up the videos and racking up the watch time. It just takes one really good video to bump up those minutes of watch time, because a couple thousand views or whatever, you're going to add watch time pretty fast.
Fair enough. All right. Well, let's talk to me. If anybody out there is thinking about doing a YouTube channel or something like that, how long did it take you to get to monetization?
So it's really interesting. That's a great question. It took me, I would say, it was like 4 or 6. No, it was about 6 months, I would say, because by the winter I was monetized. Okay. But I had a really, I kind of got lucky because, with anything you do that you're successful at, not 100% of it is just hard work. It's a little bit of luck. It's a lot of consistency. It's many different things, right? But
I guess you haven't watched the one of my videos is the 80-20 rule, right? 80% of the hard work, and then 20% of that work is what gets you your results, right?
Yeah, exactly. I remember that from real estate actually, because I took gold and I did all those things with Keller Williams. But so back to the question. About 6 months, and what I did was I was just so new to the game. I would talk about a different topic for each and every Monday to Friday video, because YouTube, you need to put some catchy headlines so that everybody wants to click on or wants to watch your video amongst the thousands of videos that come out every day.
I haven't done clickbait yet. I think I should start.
How to make $1 million in one day in real estate.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing, right? So why I talk about monetization with you, and you know this, but maybe everybody else doesn't, is the biggest thing is that's when they start to push your channel, right? Like that's when it starts to get outside your sphere of influence, or like I get dribs and drabs of people who find my channel, I don't know how, yet, they're finding it somehow. And yet, that monetization, they start pushing it to a wider audience. That's why it's important, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, after you get to that point, you just kind of snowball, it accelerates it. It's like throwing gas on a fire.
Yeah, exactly. But you also need to have a vision for your channel, where you want to be, how many subscribers you want to get. Obviously, sometimes with YouTube, if you have a really successful video, you can blow through your goals in a matter of weeks. I've seen channels go from one of my good friends who I'm still good friends with, his channel went from 15 to 200 to 315,000 subscribers. And obviously it's hard work too, but it's in the course of, geez, I want to say 6 months or 3 to 6 months. So there's Whiteboard Finance, if you don't know if you've ever heard of him.
I've never watched him. I'll check him out.
Yeah, but yeah, I was collabing with him since 15K. So it's like, holy smokes. But that's the beauty of YouTube, and it's truly a scalable business. Like it's the definition of scalable, other than the fact that, you know, you have to make the videos as a creator, but you can obviously hire someone in the future, but that's just levels of scalability. So
For sure. So, I mean, I don't even know this. Like, so what does somebody like, I mean, you got what, 7,700 subscribers now? Is that?
No, it's about 22,500.
22,500.
Yeah.
I should, I'm going to edit that. And so you got about 22,500 subscribers now. You know, like, what did you make that first 6 months? Like, what are you kind of making now? What does that look like?
Yeah. So first 6 months, not much money, to be honest. It's pure your time. You're investing your time. You're not getting much out. And then when you start to get monetized, it depends on your views. I would say a couple grand US. Now it's a couple grand USD per month in just ad revenue. And then on top of that, you know, I built Departures Capital into essentially a media news outlet, a platform for companies to now advertise on. So we interview pretty much, we focus on public companies. So I do CEO interviews, company overviews, and we have a fee for that, obviously. So yeah, now the income's pretty good. It's stable, and it's been growing, especially during these times. You know, now that everybody's working from home and the market's down, but a lot of companies want to advertise. So the picture's a lot brighter now. But that's because of oh geez, a year of getting paid less than, I would say, working at, you know, McDonald's or something for the first year. It's like I could have gone out and done that, but I just didn't. When I moved home from China, I said, I'm not working for anyone. I'm starting my own business, and now it's taken off.
So no more, because you used to be a real estate agent too, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I got my real estate license, and I was selling real estate back in, I want to say 2012. 2012 was when I was first started selling real estate.
Nice. So you're not selling real estate anymore. Like, you're done.
Yeah, no, I don't. It's a funny question, funny story. I actually got my real estate license twice and quit twice, and finally found what I wanted to do. But no, I'm not selling real estate anymore. I do invest in real estate, but yeah, just as an investor.
Cool. So, I mean, I know you talk a lot about the MJ stocks, right?
Mm-hmm.
On your channel. I mean, I'm an investor. I don't really invest in a lot of that stuff though, but I do like the content you guys are putting out, and, you know, it just gives a different perspective. I mean, help me make some clickbait. What's the top five? What's the top 5 stocks that people should be doing so they can make $1 million next year?
Top 5. So top 5 MJ stocks. Are we talking MJ stocks specifically, or is that what you want?
Whatever. What top 5 stocks? What are you investing in? Like, what did you do today, this morning? Why were we a little late for this video?
Yeah, so I actually sold a little bit of ACB, and I did tell my subscribers yesterday that I was planning to sell 25 to 50% of my position, just because the stock ran like 140, 150% in 3 days. I mean, so I don't know if you know the story, but ACB, they've had a lot of trouble, and they just reported a quarter they beat revenues, and expenses are dropping. So it's a step in the right direction, but they still have a long way to go. But I've always stressed diversity on my channel, you know, not just investing, putting all your eggs in one basket. More so than that, not putting all your eggs in one sector, which a lot of my subscribers got burnt on because the whole MJ sector tanked for more than a year, 2019, and then 2020 hit. And it's like we're expecting this comeback, and now, bam, the whole global illness. So
Well, one of my favorite jokes is the government can't even run a profit being a drug dealer.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's so sad. There's like zero support here in Ontario, especially. But we won't get into that.
No.
I've said enough about that in all my videos. But top five stocks. I am doing a lot more research now in the gold and silver mining sector, in the small cap sector. So I'll have a lot of, client deals and deals that I'm really researching myself and focusing on. But right now, for silver miners, my top pick has been Fortuna Silver Mines.
Okay.
It's been like that for a while. And
what's the ticker on that?
So FVI on the Toronto Stock Exchange, or FSM.
FVI?
Yeah.
So maybe I'll put it on my ticker right now.
Yeah, for sure. So Fortuna Silver Mines for the silver space. Also, First Majestic Silver. That's a really interesting company. Keith Neumeyer was the founder of that company, and we've interviewed him. He was one of my first interviews on the channel talking about gold prices, silver prices. He's an industry veteran. I don't know if you've heard of First Quantum.
No.
First Quantum, First Majestic, and First Mining Gold. He started 3 really awesome companies. So I'll be interviewing him hopefully twice this month. We'll see. But yeah, so 2 silver miners, my one gold mining pick would be Kirkland Lake Gold. Okay. I just recently bought some more shares in that. They're a really interesting company. They have one of the highest grade, lowest cost gold mines in Australia. I believe they're producing for like $300-400 an ounce. So it's awesome with gold trading at over 1700 right now. So, and they just acquired Detour Gold. So lots going on in the gold and silver sector. I really think M&A activity is going to pick up. So we're going to see as these companies the stocks start to run, they're going to raise cash, buy other companies. It's going to be really exciting. I think we're just on the cusp of this whole gold and silver bull market. And then in terms of 5 stocks is almost not enough for me, but we'll go with 1 MJ stock and 1 real estate stock, since I'm talking to real estate guys. So we got to go with, let me think, Curaleaf as a US MSO. So the stock's called Curaleaf. They're one of the biggest multi-state operators there in the States, and that's actually a company that I'm looking to buy today. That's what I want to do with the ACB cash that I sold. Just looking to diversify. So yeah, I want exposure to the US MSOs. So Curaleaf would be my pick, but I want to also buy Trulieve and Charlotte's Web, which is a CBD company, pure play CBD in America, the biggest brand. But in terms of my real estate stock, the one real estate stock I'd pick would be Brookfield Property Partners. I've been a big fan of that. And although, I definitely think that office real estate is not going to be the same after this whole thing. I do believe in the Brookfield name, but
well, they're good operators for sure.
Yeah, so they've got a fantastic business model and lots of support from Brookfield Asset Management, but their dividend's questionable. And if I was to choose a safer REIT, I'd probably go with RioCan, which I've been buying for a little while too. RioCan has a better mix of, essential clients like shoppers, drug mart, food, grocery stores. So,
well, and they've been doing more strip type plazas, right? So I mean, they're all open now, mostly.
Exactly. So I think RioCan's really on sale, but got a bigger position in Brookfield, so I got to pick Brookfield as number 1.
Well, I know you mentioned like Enbridge all the time. I've heard it mentioned a couple of times. I mean, that's one of my favorites. You can't I bought a whole bunch of it when it was at $34. I mean, you just can't go wrong. It's a 10% dividend, right?
Yeah, that's a great pick. We own a lot of Enbridge actually. It's the one stock that I've held on to in terms of, we do have a little bit of Inter Pipeline. Inter Pipeline is the only other pipeline related stock, but Enbridge is more than just pipelines. They're also utilities. So that's where I see being their core driver of revenue, like in terms of these rough times, because we know the oil patch is, I don't know, man, the oil patch is dunzo. It's pretty sad.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I got buddies who live and work out there,
Yeah.
and they're all going back to work.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were off, but in the last 2 weeks, they've all gone back to work.
Yeah.
So
I want to see WTI get above $40 if that's possible. Because like right now, even for Suncor to break even and pay their dividend, they need $45 oil.
yeah, and I mean I like Suncor. So I mean
Yeah.
I like it because it's integrated, right? I mean,
Yeah.
if they're not making it on the crude, they're making it on the upgrading. They're doing whatever, right?
Yeah, but those smaller cap producers, I'm pretty worried for, especially ones that don't have a lot of cash.
Well,
Sorry, go
I
on.
mean, I was just thinking Suncor. It's going to be like when they bought out oil sands, right?
Mm.
I mean, they're just going to pick off again in the weak environment.
Yeah, no, that's true. I'm just not that bullish on energy right now. I've been diversifying out of energy. I actually dumped a bunch of positions in energy and just put it. I've been a big bull on utilities, so I just love the utility companies, renewable energy, Algonquin Power, Emera, Fortis, those type of stocks.
Well, like full disclosure, I own no Suncor anymore. I mean, I bought a bunch of
Yeah.
it and sold it around 25, and I know it's hanging around there still.
Yeah.
It was just more of this is super cheap and this is ridiculous, right? So.
Yeah, for sure.
And let's I mean, everybody out there, like you're not a day trader, right? Like you're a buy and hold.
Yeah.
I mean, you're disclosing all your positions on your channel, right? So.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I mean, you can make money day trading, definitely, but I just don't buy into it as a sustainable long-term gig. I don't know. I like to build passive income, and you can't really, day trading is not passive income. You got to be there making money. I don't discourage day trading, like actually support it. It's fun, but it's just like if you got your strategy and it works for you, that's great. But I'm not claiming to be the day trading expert. I like to analyze companies, invest in them long term, and build a portfolio. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same, and I think I probably day trade a little too much in the COVID. So.
Well, hey, I mean that's the beauty of being able to trade stocks from your computer, and people did make money. Pretty much anything you touched in March, holy smokes, it's like the people made a killing. Like anything I bought in March, it's like, wow, these returns are ridiculous.
You're 30%, right? Like I'm off 30% on Enbridge, for God's sakes. Like it's ridiculous.
Exactly. No, well, here's a quick little story. So like I've been watching silver like a hawk, and I was watching it, and I watched it crash March 16th. I remember the stocks.
I remember that. I was watching it. Yeah.
March. Yeah, it was like I bought Fortuna Silver Mines for $2.11, and I bought Wheaton Precious Metals for 28. Wheaton's at 60 something, and Fortuna's at 550 now. It's just it's crazy. But
how come I wasn't watching your channel back then? Jeez.
I don't know.
You're not doing a good job pushing this out on your Facebook or anything, I tell you.
But I mean, that's a trade you can brag about, but realistically it's just market timing. But I see all the different sectors every day, and then when my favorite sectors come on sale, I just buy them. But I just keep on buying them. It's not like I've sold any of those shares yet, and I don't intend to. So yeah, I think there's so many different strategies, but that's just mine. It's just nice to see it playing out so far.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, as you know, I'm more in real estate. So, I mean, I don't buy the REITs because I own so much real estate outside of it. I mean, like stocks for me are total diversification play.
Yeah.
Trying to not I mean, I woke up one day and 99.9% of my wealth was in real estate. And it's like, well, that's a little scary. I mean, I was a real estate investor. I owned properties. I was a second mortgage lender. I was a real estate agent. It's like, maybe I need to diversify this a bit. So that's why I got into stocks and doing that type of stuff, right? And I mean, I've loved it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm still a long believer in real estate, more so residential real estate versus, bigger real estate. I feel like throughout this whole global illness that I feel like single family, that cookie cutter townhouse slash freehold, a single detached is going to hold up the best. That's
So, I mean, the only problem with that model in Canada, in my opinion, because that's the model
yeah,
I would use if I was in the States. The
yeah,
problem with that model is getting financing. Like if you like it's so tough to get financing after you buy 5, 10, 15 properties.
hmm,
I mean, for me, I mean, I'm buying apartment buildings now. It's essentially the same thing. I buy, 2-bedroom or condos basically that
hmm,
I buy 30 of them at the same time.
yeah,
And the more I buy, the more the banks like me. Whereas if I bought 30 2-bedroom condo units, then the bank's going to hate me.
hmm, yeah. See, yeah, when you get up into those number of units, I'm sure it's much different.
Yeah. So I mean, because I watch, I don't know if you is it Meet Kevin on
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. So I watch him on YouTube, and he
hmm,
talks about that because you can get it down there. I guess you can get do the burr strategy and all that type of stuff. And I know guys, I've had them on my channel that are getting portfolio loans, and they're doing that, and you know they're crushing it down there, and they can, right, because it's just
hmm,
different financing.
yeah.
And they work hard to get the financing they do. Yet, yeah, I mean, they can go get a portfolio loan on 100 properties, single families. Why wouldn't you?
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, obviously you got to adapt based on your situation and the restrictions in your specific area. But
For
no,
sure,
I
for
was just
sure.
talking. I was just talking for like first-time real estate investors, in terms of if you're looking to invest in an investment property throughout this time. I just favor the liquidity, obviously, on a single
Uh,
family townhouse.
100%. If you're a first-time investor, like townhouses are great.
Yeah.
Buying a bungalow, adding a second
Mm-hmm.
suite, like that's where you're gonna obviously maximize your cash flow. And I tell people that all the time. Like you maximize your return on 2 to 4 unit properties,
Yeah.
right? You do. Like I mean, I make less of a return buying a 30-unit building than if I had bought 10 triplexes.
No,
It
for
just
sure. But I'm sure once you have it all set up, it works for you. Everybody has their model, and that's pretty cool what you do as well. I mean,
yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing, right? The reason I like what I do is I never have to sell my properties.
hmm,
I just don't like you want to buy and hold your stocks. You like the stock. You think they're going to do well in the future. I'm the same. I mean,
yeah,
I think rentals are only going up. We're
me
not
too.
building
No,
enough of
I,
them. And I think we're going to have more of an immigration wave after this because who the heck's going to want to go to the States after this?
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
All right. Well, so, I mean, let's wrap this up. Maybe give everybody a few words of wisdom and tell us what your goal is for the channel.
All right. So sorry, if you could just be a little bit more specific in terms of wisdom, like, are we talking about starting a channel, or are we talking about investing, or?
Sure, both.
Okay. So first off, my goal for Departures Capital, like, I want to hit 100,000 subscribers. That was one of my 2020 goals. We're now 5 months in, and I need to pick up. Let's just say I need to pick up the marketing on my channel. I've seen a lot more growth, but if I want to hit 100K, there's a lot of work to be done.
Yeah.
In terms of starting a YouTube channel, the number one thing is consistency. You can make the best video in the world and spend $1,000, $10,000 on the best editor to make the best video, but if no one sees it, it doesn't matter. So consistency in marketing, you got to put yourself out there. You got to be afraid to post it in every single Facebook group. Not be a spammer, obviously, but like,
It's a fine
ask.
line. Trust me. Ever since I
Oh,
started
I
this,
know.
I'm like, oh man, like, am I spamming? I don't know. Is this value? I'm like, well, I'm sure if it is, they'll tell me at some point. So
Yeah. So, and one thing is, you know, if you start to get a lot of hateful comments, that means you're succeeding because,
I got my first one yesterday. That I was boring and that my numbers, and he doesn't like numbers, and I'm like talking about a multi-unit building. I'm like, well, that's all it is. I don't care about the pictures. It's more about the numbers, right?
That's your first milestone, man. That's a good sign. So yeah, write that down or whatever. I remember my first hateful comment. It was like a paragraph about how I look and how I talk, and I was like, well, thanks.
Nice.
So anyways, but no, that's just the way YouTube is. But consistency, as you know, in real estate, you know, with lead generating, so many things in life is just consistency.
Yeah.
So consistency, not being afraid to put yourself out there. And then when it comes to investing during these times, honestly, save up some cash is what I gotta say. Don't put all your money in the market all at once. Be very defensive. Don't expect any, you know, ridiculous returns. Most of the money was made in the past 2 months that I think will be made in 2020.
Yep.
And we could head lower if the economy takes longer to get back on its feet. So diversity as well. Diversity is a major. It's so extremely important in these times. So
yeah, I mean, I tell everybody it's patience.
Mm-hmm.
It's not timing the markets. It's time on the market, right? So if you like a stock, buy it. If it goes down, buy more, right? Like that's, you know, and diversify your portfolio.
Exactly. I think that's great advice.
All right. Well, Aaron, thank you so much. Departure Capital. Everybody go down there and subscribe to Aaron's channel. Let's help him get to 100,000. Guys, if you haven't liked and subscribed Mark Loeffler Experience yet, I mean, we got to get it to 1,000. I mean, so like at least YouTube puts it out there to the universe for me. All right, guys. Thanks again. Like and subscribe. Talk to you in the next one.
Have a good one.